goddess of magic is missing. Her champions banished. Trapped. Powerless. They must become worthy.
Everyone, welcome to Unbound. This is our 5th edition D&D campaign that uses adventures from Uncaged Anthology. Uncaged Anthology is a collection of myth and folklore-themed modules that subvert tropes around mythological beings and monsters that are women. We are also featuring the Scholar class by Benjamin Huffman, both of which are available for purchase on DM's Guild. I am joined here with my lovely cast. As you may notice, Bravo is either the master of sitting very still or not here. You can decide which one. Unfortunately, Bravo will not be able to join us here today, but she will be back next week. So we're going to go around real quick and do some reintroductions of our characters, and we will start off with Adon. Oh, you're muted.
I'm muted. Hi, I'm EJ. I'm playing Adon, a little Earth Genasi rogue. I have red sedimentary skin and big old goggles, and my whole goal is to learn everything about everything and find Hecate.
Excellent. Thank you. Next, we have Alaris.
I play Alaris. She is a changeling ranger. She has a little pet raccoon named Quickfoot. She dual wields swords. She doesn't take any bullshit, and she likes to stabby stab slashy slash. Oh, and she wears a mask on half her face. I should probably always say that because that's a thing that she does.
Excellent. Thank you. Next, we have Samara.
Hi guys, I'm Giggly. I play Samara. She is a tiefling cleric with some blue-gray skin and some awesome silver mint green hair. She basically is an embodiment of a living on land mermaid. But other than that, she just likes to be chaotic and just have fun.
Yes, with very powerful middle fingers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Zombie middle fingers.
Yep.
Also, I don't know why you don't use this in your introduction, but you're the favorite. You should
That's
start
very
with
true.
every time.
Yes. You were told by our spirit hound guide that you are the favorite of our goddess Hecate.
That's fine. None of us are salty about it, though.
No.
They weren't there. They didn't hear it, right?
I didn't say it, okay? I was just there.
Last but certainly not least, we have Nell.
Hey, I'm May, and I'm playing Nell, and she's a tiny little halfling scholar who's a chef, and she's just making her way in the world, traveling with a circus, learning super fun magical items by the way of eating them without knowing what they do.
Find out one way or another how things work. Just to let all of you know, if you want to interact with this game, there are 2 ways that you can do so. You can redeem channel points for free and grant a blessing, which will be you can see the little chart over here. It's got little bubbles there. It will grant an advantage die to any player, including myself. They do cap at 2, So please do save your points if it is full up. Otherwise, you're definitely welcome to spend those channel points if you like to help out our players. And otherwise, we do have an element of fate that you can add to the narrative. Every $10 guarantees a draw from the deck of many things to the player of your choice. That is upside down. Woo! You can have terrifying things like the void come into play. And we did have several draws last time, and some of them are still in effect. And that doesn't mean they can't stack, though. Smile. So, the scene opens up with our heroes in the yawning portal. This is moments after there had been a commotion. The bell of the yawning portal had been rung, drawing people towards the tavern, drawing people away from the tavern, because it generally indicates that something has crawled out of the yawning portal in the yawning portal. And by the time that we arrived there, we had seen that several monsters had been taken care of, and they were no longer an issue. The party continued back up into their room to discover that Alaris and Samara's room was trashed. There were no signs of who had come in quite yet to be discovered, and then we had Adon and Avalon going into another room to find theirs was intact. For the purpose of today, since Avalon will not be present, we'll say Avalon has crashed onto the bed and is asleep and probably won't wake up on a schedule other than her own.
She had a long day. It's fine.
She did. All right. As the group of you are upstairs, the yawning portal below seems to be returning to a state of normalcy. You can see that there are tables upended, being corrected, drink is being drawn, and people are continuing to carouse as they normally do. Nell, off to the side, you had been harvesting off of some creatures nearby using your class feature. And what was it called again?
It was called Waste Not, Want Not.
Yes. So you collect 2 sturge wings and 2 servings of raw sturge meat.
Exciting.
All right. So Alaris and Samara, I believe you are currently scrounging around in your room. If you would be so inclined, could I get investigation checks from both of you?
Absolutely. Well, that's a 3.
Okay. That's a 3 from Alaris and a 9 from Samara. You're looking around. The furniture in your room is in some disrepair here. You can see that things have been tossed about, things broken, things shredded. You see nothing, Alaris. It's just a ruin of a room. However, Samara, you are able to detect that there are 2 sets of boot tracks. They appear to be quite muddy and have little bits of straw in between the prints. You can tell that one set of these tracks belongs to someone very small or a child, and the other set is more like your size.
Alaris, come look over here. This is what I found.
She'll kind of bustle her way over. What? Oh, those are footprints.
Yeah.
I didn't see those before.
Yeah, maybe
You sure
we
those
should get
aren't
your
ours?
eyes checked.
It's this mask. It really gets in the way sometimes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Could it be the guy that took Singer, the servant?
Oh. Didn't we?
Do you have his boot still?
Oh, you mean that? I think I do have his boot in my bags.
Should see. We should measure it up.
I'll pull my bag forward and start shuffling through for the boot of We just said his name.
Loper.
Loper.
Uh-huh.
For Loper's
whatever
boot. I've
his
kept it as a
face is.
souvenir.
Okay. Yes. You take out this singular boot that you have in your bag and you compare it to the boot print. The boot print is larger.
Nope, it's not Loper.
At this point, I imagine I would have come back to their room.
Yes.
After just making sure mine had not been ransacked as well.
Yeah, Avalon has soundly fallen asleep, and as you leave the room, you see Nell close by, having finished harvesting these sturge parts.
I didn't find anything neat.
Oh, yeah, like, some of them were a bit too damaged. I couldn't really get too much of that, but I got some wings, I got some meat. Maybe we could have some kebabs later. Oh, I think I've...
Of monster meat?
Yeah, sturge meat.
I've never had sturge meat. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, we should probably do the robbery first. That's probably a little bit more important right now than kebabs. But I'm excited for the kebabs nonetheless. And I'm gonna... Oh, you don't know about the robbery yet. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we did get robbed. Just them, though. I think it was just money, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I think they probably want to get the money back anyways. So I'm going to go look for clues now. And I'm going to head into the room, and I'm going to do a little investigating of my own.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me investigation. Nell, what would you like to do after Adon kind of moves into the room?
So much better.
Adon rolled a 25.
Yeah.
Nell would just kind of like creep up and like poke her head in the room. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Not really.
I don't know what they took yet.
Well, we could assume what they took.
Yeah, but I mean like important things, you know? Like I think we're just assuming they took the money, right?
Well, I mean, that's pretty important.
We can get more, probably, maybe. We don't really need it, necessarily. I mean, you don't have to pay them back anymore. I mean, you could just probably kill them like you did the other guys.
I mean, okay, so we're assuming that the Stormcloaks took the money, but we don't know that for sure.
Oh, yeah. I guess I have a point. That is a good point.
Where's Quickfoot still on the table, like, stuffing his face full of the...
Yes. So just as a refresher, did you leave money with the corpses?
No.
No? Okay.
No,
I'm making that up. Just kidding. Don't worry about it. So, yes.
No, we were going to leave a note with the corpses, but we decided not to.
Gotcha. Okay. Right. Very important clarification. Okay. Yes. So when you look at what was formerly a writing desk, it is now half of a writing desk, and Quickfoot is just perfectly balanced on one end of it. And he is flat, his belly completely protrudes, and he is rotund.
Yeah. Big boy.
I think Alaris is gonna... Well, sorry, did you say what Adon ended up finding with her investigation?
Not yet.
Okay.
Nell, did you want to head into the room?
Yeah, she would have like as soon as like her eyes kind of like pan like see the raccoon, and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna have a tummy ache," and she kind of jaunts over, hops over like debris, and then she starts like kind of like rummaging through her bag, and she's like, "Here, chew on some ginger." She'll kind of like hand him so like ginger's like, "Here, chew."
So you just see like a tiny hand just like kind of feebly reach for it, kind of grabs the ginger and just shaking. And he starts nibbling on
So
the
cute.
ginger. With a 25 investigation, Adon, you focus. Try to... We just see like the room kind of zoom out from around Adon, and the shape of Alaris and Samara and Nell and Quickfoot kind of like blur out of view, and then we see like Hawkeye's just honing in on various things. We see Adon's nostrils get really big as she sniffs and catches the faint scent of brimstone, and then Adon's eyes hook onto various fabrics in the room, and we can see tiny singe marks.
That's dope. That's so cool. Okay, brimstone. What do you guys know about brimstone? I don't actually have a lot of notes on that. I don't know what brimstone is.
I feel like it's normally associated with fire, but now I'm not sure.
Yes, but do we know anybody? I guess I wouldn't. Never mind. And then I'm gonna go to the footprint, and it's muddy, right? I'm gonna take a piece of paper and like press it down so I get like a print or a stamp of the footprint or something.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still fresh, so it's damp enough to transfer onto the paper. So there are 2 prints. There's one large one and one tiny one.
Okay, cool.
And you do also notice the bits of straw in it as well.
Straw. What the heck? Oh, straw. Oh, circus, animals. Hey, do you have any,
Hay is another word for straw, you're right.
That is true. Now, do you happen to know anybody in the circus who maybe works with the animals or something who, is maybe a little, like, smoky, you know? A little stinky fire guy?
She kind of like blushes a little bit and kind of like goes to like smell herself a little bit. Well, most of us, but she kind of thinks to would anyone kind of come to mind?
Yes. Go ahead and roll me a history check. So we did establish that Nell spends most of her time with the mysterious woman.
Yes.
However, just off the top of your head, even with a 6, you do remember that there are a number of people with the firebrands. They're a troupe of acrobats that are heavily associated with your circus, and you've been traveling with them for about a year. Grot is their leader, and who introduced you to everyone, including your friend here. And you know that there is a fire ganassi with them. You don't know their name. You haven't really interacted with them.
Well, the troop is kind of gotten a bit large, but yeah, I think there might be someone. We'll have to go ask Grot their name though.
Right. Pardon. What name did you just say?
Grot.
Now, DM.
Yes.
Is this a common name?
I would say in a world as large as this that it's possible that more than one person has the same name, but it is a very uncommon name.
Okay, I was like, is it like a John common?
It's not
or like...
John.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. That name rings a bell. I used to know a Grot once upon a time.
Oh. Are they with the circus?
Was he often on fire?
I mean, he
Well-
wasn't on fire.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
If they practiced after a bit of drinking, it tended to happen sometimes.
DM, were they an acrobatics group as well as a thieves guild when I knew them, or they were just a thieves guild?
They were just a thieves
Okay.
guild.
Well, the Grot I knew wasn't associated with any circuses, so that seems a little strange. Well, maybe it's just a coincidence. How's Quickfoot looking after that ginger?
You see Quickfoot has rolled onto his side, so now the ball the deflated basketball has turned onto its side. You only see its back, and you can hear little munching sounds as Quickfoot continues to eat the ginger.
All right. Well, Alaris is gonna go on up over to Quickfoot. She's gonna roll him over, gonna grab him by his cheeks, and she's gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Okay. Do we see any effects or anything as you're casting this?
It probably just looks like Quickfoot's cheeks glow a little red, like they get a little extra warm and blushy almost as she does it. But yeah, not a whole lot. It's pretty subtle.
Okay, so it's you being able to speak with him, not him be able to speak to everybody, right?
That's right. Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
just me and him only.
Okay. Yeah, so everyone can see that she is casting a spell here.
Put it in there for you.
Yeah. Okay, so it's you to the animals. Okay, yeah. You just see like this sort of hazy glaze to his eyes as he tries to focus on you, and he's trying to fit the ginger in his mouth as you're kind of pulling on his cheeks.
All right, just imagine, just like.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Quickfoot, I need you to think. I need you to use your little noggin. Who gave you all those treats?
See him like, there's just like a little pop as he pulls the ginger out of his mouth, and he says, "That little one over there gave me the tasty stick." Holds
Okay,
up
but
the ginger.
Not the stick. Not the stick. The treats before the stick. And she pokes his belly.
Do not do that. Do not do that. That is not good. Bad feeling.
Yeah. Who gave you the food that gave you this bad feeling?
Tasty food given to me by 2 strangers.
Do you remember what they looked like?
One was on fire.
Okay.
Oh.
The other one, scratchy, little, small person, green person.
A scratchy little small green person and a person on fire.
No, pop the ginger back
Okay.
into its mouth.
All right. Well, thank you.
What did he
And she
say?
pats his head.
As soon as you let him go, he just kind of like thunks.
Well, it's a person on fire and
I knew it was a person on fire.
a small scratchy green person.
Lord Grinder, I met him first episode. He's not green, right?
No, he's a halfling.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Now, do those descriptions ring any bells for you of the circus?
She know of the green scratchy.
Go ahead and roll me another history check. With the description of the person on fire, I mean, you've seen this fire Ganassi person on fire before, yeah? With a 9 history, yeah,
Oh,
there's
can I give her guidance on that?
Sure. Tell me what this looks like as you cast this on her.
I'm just gonna quickly reach into my little pouch and get some of that waxy stuff and just say, "Oh, just hold on a second, this will help." And then I put it right under her nose, so when she like snips it, it like awakens her senses. It's like Vicks.
Yeah, this candle smells disgusting, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like kind of putrid. So, is that a die 6?
It's a D4, I think.
Okay.
Sorry,
so-
I don't have it open right now.
No, you're fine. Nell, so go ahead and roll a 1d4. Okay, so that's a 10 history. Out of 10, you would know that, yes, there is a goblin that is part of the troop named Bailey. So, Bailey, goblin.
Her like eyes just kind of like dilate a bit when she's like smelling. Oh, what is that? I'll have to get some of that later. That's intriguing.
Really? Everybody else hates it.
Oh, it's absolutely terrible, but it's fascinating.
My face
Huh.
just falls because I genuinely love the smell.
Oh.
I wonder if I could make it palatable in a way. But yeah, there's another there's I think called Bailey. They're all like friends and come and go as we go to towns and stuff. But yeah, there's a little green scratchy. I guess there's a little goblin that runs around.
I mean, Quickfoot doesn't have a whole lot of vocabulary to work with, so I'm sure that might be them. I mean, if you...
I mean, I don't know
The
many
two
people that
together.
are on fire, so I assume that this is our best and only lead.
Wouldn't hurt to check it out.
Besides, we're
Everyone's
gonna go
gonna
to
be-
Circus anyways.
Evelyn's gonna be pissed if we go meet this bear she supposedly wrestled and she's not there.
It's fine. She can deal.
I don't think she's a huge fan of the circus anyways.
You can hear the snoring from the other side of the hallway.
She doesn't quite stand for nonsense.
That's fair. Okay, well, I mean, the problem here is that if the circus stole our money, it means the sword cloaks did not take our money, which means they have not been paid.
Well, they didn't seem to remember you anyways. Maybe they
those
forgot.
Particular ones didn't know who I was, but the
Yeah.
Stormcloaks
Maybe
aren't
they forgot.
they're not a small group. I mean, okay, well, I guess we've got the money for the Stormcloaks should they ever show up, but let's go see if we can get the rest of our money from the circus. Why would they know to look in here for money? That's ridiculous.
Nell, you would know that, well, what you know is that, oh, the circus has never done anything like this before. It seems out of character for them, as far as you know.
We can go ask them. Maybe they know of. Maybe they've heard talk, but like it doesn't sound like them, even though kind of just being described as some of them. But
Well, I'm sure
I mean, you know, you need your money back, but like I don't think it would be with them.
Well, it's the only lead we got right now, and I'm sure you need to get back to your people, home, stuff.
I have been gone quite some time, actually.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Well, 2 birds, 1 stone. Let's get you home.
And I guess we're gonna go to the location of the. Oh, you would know where the circus is now. Never mind. I don't have to pull out my flyer.
Alaris is gonna pick up Quickfoot, bring her over to Avalon, and just lay the two next to each other.
Okay. You see Avalon kind of like roll over, and then Quickfoot spoons her, and Quickfoot's the big spoon.
Seems appropriate.
She's gonna be so pissed when they wake up.
I'm not gonna be happy about
Yeah.
that. All right, sounds
All right.
good. Well, to the circus.
Okay. So y'all follow Nell, and Nell will lead you to the circus. Nell, could I get a survival check from you at advantage as you lead the party towards the circus? As the group of you make your way outside, you can see that it is quite dark. That is a 9. Even with a 9, you're able to find it. It's pretty hard to miss. There is a very large tent, very colorful in the distance, and it will definitely draw you in the right direction. It's a matter of just taking the quickest route. It takes you about 30 minutes to get towards the carnival that is set up around the circus. And when you get there, you can see that it is beginning to quiet down. There is still some music playing. You can see that there are a number of performers moving about, but the number of attendants here has gone quite down. Most people have retired for the evening as it's getting into the later hours. Most of the people that are around are drunk or employees. And as you approach the front gate, you see that there is a ticket booth off to the side, and there are 2 bouncers by the entrance.
Neither of them happen to be a fire genasi, correct?
Or a goblin.
That would have been a little too easy.
I imagine Nell would know the bouncers.
Yes.
Yeah, like this. So, can I bring some friends in? They're
You see that they are both Goliaths. You know them to be twins, Mert and Bert. And they both have clown makeup on. And Mert kind of crosses his arms over his chest, and he looms over the party, scrutinizing them. Definitely invading personal bubble.
I'll give you some extra apple tarts later.
Why didn't you say so? He just leans back and he smiles, puts his hands on his hips. Welcome to the circus, with a capital C. Come on in. Any friends of Nell's or a friend of Nert?
Thank you very much, Nert.
Thank you.
Scurry in.
And then, as the group of you are like kind of starting to make your way in, Nert turns and looks to Nell. Can you make sure that mine has extra fruit?
Oh, definitely.
Thank you so much. And Bert kind of like, his head leans forward. He's like, what about me?
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't forget you. You definitely get a lot.
May I put in a request?
What would you like?
Peach pie.
All right. Yeah, I think we've got. Yeah, I think those are in season. I hope those are in season.
Excellent. Thank you. And then they just kind of resume their posts.
As we walk along, I'm kind of just gonna whisper, like, so are we just planning on like confronting them immediately? Or are we gonna make a scene? Or are we just gonna like ask around? Or what are we gonna do here? Because I don't want to go in guns blazing if we're not gonna go that route, you know? I don't want to cause any trouble for Nell.
That's true. We should really probably think about that before we go in on and do that. Yeah, Nell does complicate things.
So as the group of you make past the front gate, you can see that there are a number of booths set up. There are a few rides. They are mostly of wooden construction and seem to have very rudimentary engineering skills involved in their creation. You see that there are a number of booths off to the side that have various mini games. One seems to be knife throwing. One seems to be something to do with rings. You're not quite sure. And then you can see that there is a small pen full of animals that are very small, perhaps for petting.
Running straight towards the animals.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can see baby.
Nell would also just kind of like take on her like usual route and just kind of like, which would always include walking by the petable little animals.
Yes, inside the little pen here, we see a giant lizard, but like, you know, a lizard is small. This one's kind of like dog-sized. There's a giant lizard, there is a baby hyena, and there is a sheep.
Can we just go in and pet them?
Yeah. Nell, you would know absolutely like how all of the different booths and stuff work. You pretty much have access to anything. You know that it's normal for you to be as handsy as you want, and no one will like ridicule you or anything.
Yeah, she'll be like, here, this way, here. And she'll kind of like unhook the little gate. And say, okay.
I'm gonna motion to the lizard. Can I just touch it? Can I touch it?
Well, that's what they're here for.
I'm gonna crouch down right next to the lizard and start kind of like, I'm gonna poke at it with the back of my quill or whatever. And I'm gonna take a lot of notes. Because it's the biggest like lizard I've ever seen. Yeah.
Like,
oh, this is fascinating. This thing is huge.
Yeah, especially because you are quite small. This lizard is probably, if you were to measure it from like nose to tip, probably about like 90% of your height if you stood it up. It's pretty long. It's kind of like resting on a rock, and you just see this big eye. Just sort of, they're moving in different directions, and one of them just fixates on you, and then like blinks and has like multiple flaps and stuff. It's very strange looking.
So interesting.
When you poke it, you just see like its back leg just kind of stretch a little bit. Unsure of what to do with that.
I'm just gonna be taking notes on this little lizard, or this big lizard guy. Completely forgotten what we've come to the circus for at this point.
No, you would know that the sheep is named Margie, the lizard is named Bo, and the baby hyena is Steven.
Steven.
While they're all, petting the animals, I'm gonna keep an eye out for those that fit my description.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, please.
Oh yeah, we forgot to do that.
Don't worry, I'm doing it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's a 13. Yes, absolutely. Samara will keep an eye out. So far, you can see that there are a number of people kind of walking by. No one seems to stop and pay you much mind. You can see that there is a food booth nearby. A sign indicates that you can purchase pies, fairy floss, and fried krakem pods, which you would know to be kind of like mushrooms.
I would assume fairy floss is like cotton candy.
Yes, it is literally cotton candy.
Right. So, if Alaris saw that sign, that's where she would be immediately.
Yeah, we just see like Alaris making her way towards the pen and just divert.
Nope.
I'm following close behind Alarius.
Okay, cool.
I would like some fairy floss, please.
Okay, you approach the food cart. You get a whiff of butter spice, which is it's a little herb that gets mashed up and you smoke it in a pipe. As you come up, there's someone walking by and they're smoking butter spice. But at the booth, you can see that there are 4 different kinds of fairy floss. There's raspberry, blueberry, blackberry, and cherry.
Oh my god.
Oh no. I want one of each.
There's a squat little woman tending to this, and she has large spectacles. She just adjusts them. Excuse me, did you say you want one of each?
Yes, please.
Are
You're
you
gonna turn out
sure?
just like Quickfoot.
Yeah, how much for them?
5 silver apiece.
It seems like a lot for fairy floss, but okay.
You're getting 4 different kinds.
Yeah, she said a piece.
Oh, true.
Okay, so go ahead
It
and
is a
remove
circus.
20 silver pieces. And she pulls out 1 stick. You don't know where she kept all of this, and it doesn't really make sense. But as she pulls out the stick, it's just... It's basically like a bush
Okay.
on a stick. And she hands
Oh.
1.
Oh no!
Hold on a minute. Boosh.
Oh dear lord.
2.
I'll carry the other 2.
Thank you.
Boosh, boosh. And these are like, she could literally hide in one of these, right? It's huge. It's very comical. You look very, very ridiculous here. And she hands the other 2 to Samara.
You better start eating quick, because I want to get something. What kind of pies do you have?
Oh, I've got meat pies. I've got potato pies. I've got sweet pies. What kind of pies would you like?
You know, a potato pie sounds like really good right now.
Okay. If you're sure.
What does that mean? I do an insight check on her.
Insight check? Okay. Yeah.
Sounds
Do
really sketchy about that
Right.
potato pie.
If you're sure.
If you're sure.
Okay.
Tell me.
You can tell that this woman is just looking out for you.
She's calling us fat.
She pulls out a pie, and it's basically the size of a platter.
No, no.
1 silver piece, please.
Only a silver? Okay. I'll give her 3 for just being so sweet.
Oh, my dear, you don't have to do this.
I know I don't have to. I want to.
Oh, thank you so much. I can put this into my savings account. She gives you a little wink.
Do you have like a to-go tray or a wagon?
Oh, dear.
Just shut up and eat, Alaris.
Okay.
She just like looks around. She doesn't really have anything. I can keep your pie warm. I'll put it back into the cart.
Yeah, I'll be back for it in a minute.
Yes, just walk around a little bit and enjoy the circus.
Thank you. What was your name again?
Oh shit, I have a name. What the My name
For a loop.
My name is Funda.
Funda.
Funda. Funda. Hold on, I have to write this down. What the heck? And tiny, nice woman. Okay.
I like that.
No.
Maybe put vendor next to it so you remember
Yeah,
what she
get a
does.
vendor. Nice. Yes. So the camera cuts back over to Adon and Nell. The lizard has started climbing on Adon. And Nell, you would know that Bo, the lizard, B-O, has a problem of getting handsy.
Oh, oh dear. Dawn,
Look at this guy. I think he really likes me. I'm gonna
yeah, yeah.
gonna poke my quill at his mouth and try to get him to bite it. Oh
Yeah,
my
you just
God.
see the mouth just opens lazily and the tongue just tries to like waggle around trying to grab it.
Look at him. This is the best thing ever. They usually don't let me touch them.
Well, he's very hands-on.
Oh, I know. It's awesome. I can inspect him so much closer this way. Usually when I find animals and I get all close to them and try to take notes and maybe sample their like fur or something, they tend to run away or nip. This is awesome.
Well, maybe awesome now, but just careful. Bo's a friendly type.
I love this so much. Is there somebody working the pen right now, like a keeper?
Yes, you see a keeper off to the side. It appears to be a half-orc woman. She's leaned up against the fence and she's just looking at you, looking extremely tired, extremely apathetic. You would know, Nell, that this is...
Random name generator, go!
Hild. Hild hates her job. She doesn't want to be here.
I'm gonna start walking towards Hild as if I have a lot of questions to ask her.
See her dark circles somehow get even darker as she permits this and tries to answer. She has a drawling voice like this and doesn't quite have any enthusiasm. But she's very matter of fact, and she'll answer any questions that you have. Do you know the specific type of breed of this lizard, and do you know how old it is? And do you also know, is this I assume male. This is a male lizard. I mean, I'm not gonna check. I don't want to be disrespectful. You, in a very short amount of time, learn a disturbing
Good.
amount of information that is very uncomfortable for most people. And she even flips the lizard and you get a whole biology lesson here.
That's all I want. I'm drawing very detailed diagrams.
Nell kind of averts her eyes oh.
Oh.
Yes, other people passing by also divert their eyes.
No, this is absolutely fascinating. So you said earlier that you can make food out of monsters. Have you ever tried making food out of a lizard like this?
Not Bo.
Well, well, probably not Bo. Not him in particular, but just a lizard in general. Can you make food out of anything?
Well, theoretically, yes, but I if it was a lizard similar to Bo, I'd try and maybe outsource a ways away just in case it was part of Bo's family. I wouldn't want to do that. I've spent a lot of time with Bo. I'm a little,
I suppose that is probably important. Do you turn green? If you were to eat a lizard, would you turn green? Because you turn blue when you eat the blue flower. So is it a color matching situation, or is it a mood, or is it a taste thing?
I've never thought of it that way. I should probably make
You
a
wanna
note
try?
of that. Well, we got the sturge meat. We can try with the sturge meat.
Let's try the sturge meat.
So the camera cuts back over to Alaris and Samara. With that 13 perception from earlier, Samara, you can see that there are a number of tents in the area. There seems to be a wagon thing with a house on the back. I don't know what they're called. It's like a closed wagon. You see a closed wagon off to the side, and you can see that it has some gold filigree embellishments. And from just a visual observation, it seems like it's probably for someone important.
Are you almost done?
This one.
Well, then take this one.
Okay.
But, I mean, I guess this could be, like, good cover. Do you see that wagon over there? It's huge!
Just hiding
I'm literally
behind.
just hiding behind it.
Alaris will part the fairy glass to look for the wagon.
Okay, yeah, it sticks out right there. You can see that there is also a smaller tent behind it, also made of the same, like, gold filigree design.
Yeah, it looks pretty fancy.
Well, should we check it out?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt to go look, I don't think.
Maybe why don't you down one more of the fairy floss so you don't have both of your hands filled?
Okay.
And I think this is the time where Nell and Adon come up, and you can hear them talking about sturge meat.
Are we just hungry?
Can we try it now? Do you have? I assume you have like a cooking station here. Like we could cook it up now.
Oh, yeah, of course. I've got a little tent and, I've got a little kitchen set up. Yeah.
Alaris will literally just point one of the fairy flosses towards them.
Oh.
Take some, please. I didn't know these were so large, and I bought 4 of them, and I've eaten one already.
You bought... Oh, I guess I probably should have forewarned you about Flinda. She's quite known for making oversized food. It's a bit of a novelty here.
It's as big as she was.
Yes.
I mean, it is the circus.
I'll grab one of the fairy
Fascinating.
flosses. What flavor is this one?
Blueberry.
Will you turn blue if you eat this one?
Well, Flinda's not really known for, putting magical properties in things that, she sells regular customers of the circus, but I could probably give her some ingredients to try sometime.
Oh, do you only turn colors if something's magical? And you eat it?
I assume. Though there might be some plants that have alchemical properties that might change some things. But most often it's magic that's involved.
So I guess you just have to try every plant then.
Naturally, yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, by the way, you guys haven't seen anything anything that helps us with what we're like supposed to do here, right? Because I haven't really been looking, to be completely honest with you. I forgot.
Hey, Nell, do you know who that cart belongs to?
As it's pointed out to you, Nell, you know exactly who it belongs to. It belongs to Grot and the Firebrands.
Oh yeah, that's Gratz. Do you want to go? We can see if he's...
Alaris is already walking that way.
I guess we're going.
She said grot and she started walking.
Okay.
Follow behind, but I'm still
With her
asking
fairy
Nell a million questions as we walk behind them.
Okay. Nell, you would know that you pretty much have free range of the whole circus wherever you want to go. Your specific little spot in this place is over by Mathea's little area. You have your own little tent. It's not as extravagant as a closed wagon, but it's serviceable, and you're very small. And you have like all of the supplies you need. You probably have like a portable stove and etc.
It's probably small enough to like fit under one of the wagons.
That's exactly where it is. It's right underneath Mathea's wagon, because she definitely has one. Okay, yeah, so as you approach the closed wagon, you can see that there is a smaller tent behind it. The tent, you would know, Nell, is where all of the firebrands stay, and then Grot usually stays in the wagon itself. You can see as the group of you approach, the light seems to be off. There are little shutters that can be opened for windows. They are all currently closed, and there appear to be no light sources leaking out.
Well, they might be still occupied. Well, she kind of like just looks up in the sky and kind of looks around. Well, it's not really closed yet, so we could continue to look for them. Probably would be best to peek in. It's kind of rude. Be a little.
Well, I mean, they
awkward
had no
if
problem
came
with
back.
our place.
It's true. What about the tent area? Does it look like there's anybody around there?
Yes, you can see that there appear to be silhouettes of people moving around. A light source is on inside of that tent. And then off to the east is a much larger tent, definitely meant for performances, and you can hear the music coming from that direction.
We can see who's finished up in that tent, but like I don't know who's still performing. But if you wanna,
Well, might as well take a look while we're here.
Yeah, we may as well. We're here. And she'll like give like a sidelong kind of like look at the wagon, and then she'll carry on eating her fairy floss and approaching the tent.
Okay, the firebrand tent is open. You can see that it is clearly marked by what appears to be a runic style of a flame. And Alaris, you would recognize this immediately. This is exactly the same emblem that the Firebrand Thieves Guild used back in your olden days. However, the flap.
Flap? Deep breath, Stella.
The flap of the tent is open, and you can see that there are a number of people inside. And as you approach, I think this is going to be a really good place for us to take a quick break. We will be back in about 5 minutes. Grab a drink, do a stretch, and we'll be back before you can say tent flap. So as the group of you approach the open tent flap, you can see that there are a number of people inside. You see 3 people. You can see that one of them appears to be a Goliath, one of them appears to be a half-elf, and one of them appears to be a tabaxi. Nell, can I get a history check from you? Let's see if you know these people.
my rolls haven't been going so well. Can I use?
Yeah, if you want to use your physical dice, you can definitely do that. Whatever you want. Or if you want to use a blessing, you can. Or you can do both.
Both.
Okay. Yes, just as a reminder, all of our players, including myself, are currently full up on blessings, so please feel free to use them.
That would be 18 total.
18? Okay. With an 18, you know who these people are exactly. You know the Goliath, her name is Vala. You know the half-elf, their name is Sharae. And you know the Tabaxi's name is Lost Shoe.
That makes me so happy, Stella.
I know, I did this just for you.
I'm just gonna go in the corner here and ooh-woo over Lost Shoe.
Nell kind of like peeks in. I know you guys are probably like really tired, but I got some friends who are looking for some people. Could you help us out?
You can see Vala is stretched out on what appears to be like a makeshift bunk. You know that this is like everything in this circus is portable, so it's basically a portable, collapsible bunk bed. She is on the bottom and she's reclining, and she's like, "Hey, Nell, come on in. Yeah, of course. Please make yourselves comfortable." And she's relaxing, reclining. You can see Sharae appears to be hunched over a small fire and a pot that is currently cooking. They just kind of give a slight nod to the group of you, and the tabaxi, lost shoe, currently appears to be sitting on the top bunk of another bunk and is scratching behind his ear with his foot.
Yeah, Nell kind of like, and it's like, come, yeah. And he's like, whoa, what are you cooking? And she kind of like tries to like peer up into the pot.
Charé very gracefully reaches down and just opens the top of the pot, and you can see that it appears to be a stew. They say, nothing of significant note. Of course, prefer whatever it is that you want to cook for the camp, but we were feeling a little peckish.
Oh, it's definitely hearty after day's work. Oh, it's gonna be lovely. Would you like some salt or pepper? I've got some in my bag.
You see them sort of like bow their head and they move away, scooting a little bit. Please, please. Whatever you can do to improve it.
Yeah, so she like digs into her bag and she's got a little pouch. One kind of messily labeled salts and the other one kind of messily labeled pepper, but crossed out a couple times because she accidentally misspelled a little bit. And he's like, all right, so she kind of sprinkles in. She like kind of like stirs. Oh, I think I've got some dried herbs. And she kind of like sticks her whole head in the bag and she's kind of like digging around. You can hear a bunch of like clinking and clanking and stuff like that. And she kind of like, you know, like, ha. And, you know, like kind of like oregano and stuff. So, kind of sprinkles. That should do it.
And as Nell is doing this, Charé just gestures to Nell, addressing the rest of the group. Nell is a virtuoso when it comes to the culinary arts. I have never met one as proficient as her.
Nell blushes. It's like, oh, I'm sure you have. Like we've got Funda right out there. Don't be saying these things around her. She might get a little upset.
They wink at you. Vala reclining on the bunk. So what is it that you wanted?
Oh, what? I can never remember their name. The fire Ganassi and the goblin Bailey. Do you know where they could be?
Well, they haven't really been around today. It's not their day to perform. I think they're probably out in the city. Just checking in the sights, you know? And the tabaxi stops scratching and they kind of shift to sit cross-legged on the bunk off on the other side. Looks down. You must be speaking about Akus and Bailey.
Akus. That's it. I don't know why I keep forgetting their name. But yeah, so you what time do you think they'd be back?
Well, if they want to get any sort of rest, they need to come back soon. Lost Shoe's eyes kind of like, their feline eyes narrow as they watch over the group of you. The ears kind of twitching a little. They will be doing the morning routine. They had the day off and they haven't been seen since yesterday.
Is it normal for them to be gone? I guess I'm never really paying that close attention with everything that's going on and stuff. So my new friends here, they kind of saved me from a bit of a pickle, and they're just hoping to chat with them.
As you ask if this is normal, the three of them look at each other and they exchange a glance. You don't really understand what it means, but anyone that wants to roll an insight check can definitely do that.
I've been thinking about that.
Ooh, that is a nat 20 from Adon, 23. Samara with an 11. Very nice.
Also 11.
11 from Alaris. And would Nell like to do an insight check? You don't have to.
Yeah, no, because she doesn't find them suspicious. So
Okay.
She wouldn't.
Yeah, so they exchange a glance. It seems to mean something, but as soon as you say that you were in a pickle, you can see Vala sitting up. The whole bunk just kind of like lifts up as she steps up and off of it, and she stretches up, and you can see that she is easily 7 feet tall, and she has to like hunker a little because it's not the largest tent. She kind of steps forward. Are you all right? What happened? And before you answer, Adon with the crit nat 20. Yeah, there's something very suspicious about the three of these people. You kind of get a worried look exchange between the group of them. You can't really make out any of the finer details other than they might be hiding something from Nell. You get the feel that Nell's on the outside of whatever this is going on. Yeah. What happened, Nell?
Well, I was just in town, and I was going through the markets, and then this group just kind of like cornered me and kind of like shuffled me off into like the alley, and I don't know what they were talking about. I don't know if they had me confused with somebody else, or but like, if I think they wanted to, they thought maybe you have someone else here at the circus. I don't know, but if it wasn't for these lovely people, like, I don't know what would have happened, because and she'll kind of like show like her like sleeve is a bit ripped and kind of like a little bit of a scratch and stuff like that. It's just like, this could have been a lot worse.
Well, and Vala gestures to the group of you. Clearly, you are all heroes. Please, definitely come on in. Have a seat. Thanks for looking out for our little sis here.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't want any harm to come to her. So sweet, Nell.
Does Alaris recognize any of them?
So you don't recognize any of these three. You get the sense that they maybe were added after you left. You would know that the turnover is quite rapid for a thieves guild. A lot of people end up dead or running away.
That's fair. Yeah. I think Alaris is gonna ask, how long have you guys been traveling with the Firebrands, performing with them?
And they give like different answers. Vala says like 2 years. Lost Shoe says 2.5. Share says 1.5.
Do you guys like traveling around so much with the circus?
They all seem to agree with one another, nodding. The way that they keep answering, they kind of answer as a group. They're doing this thing as they're kind of like making eye contact with one another and doing a yeah. And just kind of adding on to each other.
What do you guys do for your performances?
Vala just flexes, and you just see like she's wearing a vest and her arms are all out, and they are impressive.
Nell just kind of like...
Vala like winks at Nell and tries to pick up Nell.
Nell will be picked up, yes.
Okay, and then she like does this thing where she like has Nell stand on her hand, and she just like holds Nell and balances her perfectly.
Wow.
So like her eyes are just like big and shiny. She's like...
That's so cute.
Lost Shoe flips down from the top bunk and then lands on like 2 fingers, just completely upside down. Instead of a handstand, it's like a finger stand.
Wow.
And then gently clambers down. And Share was in front of you, but then kind of like appears out of nowhere behind Samara and gives Samara a wink.
Laris is like, yeah, these all seem like very useful traits to have in a Thieves Guild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very impressive. Especially you, Vala.
Thanks. And then very gently puts Nell back down and gently head pats her.
I was kind of like standing a little kind of like proud, like, oh, she got to be a part of things.
Well, if you don't want to hang out and enjoy some of the fine broth here, I imagine you might want to speak to Grot. Grot's over in the big tent right now.
Let's see. Yeah, perhaps Grot has seen our friends that we'd like to speak with.
He usually knows kind of like the ins and outs of things. He's
Lost Shoe in the background.
Yeah, Lost Shoe just has like, it's just like so overwhelmed by this broth, how impressive it is now that Nell has put some spices into it. Just sip.
Meowing.
Is it ready yet? Is it ready yet?
Well, I guess Grot it is.
What was your name again? I don't think we're properly introduced.
Nell blushes. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so bad at these social situations.
Why don't you introduce your friends to us?
It's Adon. She kind of like gestures like this. And Alaris. And Samara. There's also a raccoon and Avalon, but they're resting.
A raccoon? Ah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, he ate a little bit too much for dinner, so we couldn't bring him with us.
Well, that's a shame. Grot's great with animals.
He is, I'm sure, working at a circus.
Let's go find him, no?
Alaris probably mumbles under her breath, should have brought Quickfoot.
All right. So the group of you want to head out?
Yeah. As we step out, though, I'm gonna say not so quietly to like Alaris, like, hey, maybe we'll get some straighter answers from Grot.
I doubt it.
As the group of you leave the tent, can I get a perception check from all of you? 6 from Adon,
Oof.
16
I
from
don't see.
Nell, 15 from
10.
Samara, and a 10 from Alaris. Okay, Nell and Samara, you both see Share like very subtly reach for the tent flap, and it closes right as the group of you leave. And you can see that there is kind of a suspicious look to their face. And the tent flap gets secured on the inside.
Can I like hang back for a second and like see if I can hear what they're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll carry over your 15 as well. What does Nell want to do? You see Samara kind of hesitate a little bit.
She kind of like just bites her lip and gives a little worried look, and they're surely not involved in stealing your stuff, right?
Do you know that?
I hope they're not. They've always treated me. They haven't taken any of my things, though I don't really have a whole lot to take.
So you're also a part of this. You're not a stranger.
Well, I wasn't always.
So- As you kind of listen in, you can hear hushed voices. You can't make out everything that they're saying, but both of you can hear something about finding a target and don't worry, Grot can take care of it.
So excited for all the tea.
I'll join back up with the group.
Okay. As the group collects together and you approach the main tent, you can see that the last crowd seems to be leaving. The music seems to be dying down. And as you enter, you can see that there is someone starting to sweep. What you see is basically a large performance clearing. It's circular in shape. There appears to be debris from various acts. You can see that there are like little bits of confetti and paper, colored paper. You can see that there's food bits strewn about, and there are a number of chairs that sort of tier up all around it. And in the center appears to be a blue dragonborn. Speaking to a half-orc, Alaris, you instantly recognize this half-orc to be Grot. And Nell, you instantly recognize this blue dragonborn to be Mathea. And they seem to be talking. And Nell, go ahead and roll me an insight check. 18. Nell, you know and have known for a long time that Grot and Mathea are together. So it's not unusual to see them together, especially in a setting like this. But they appear to be about 30 feet away from you. And they are in a conversation and don't seem to have noticed your entrance.
She kind of puts her hands behind her to kind of hide the fact that she ate the bracelet.
Her friendship bracelet, essentially.
Approaches. She kind of like gingerly like steps forward. Grot, Mathea, I've got some friends who might want to have a chat.
Okay. Alaris, can you roll me a perception check?
Yes. Wait, what's my perception is 2. 17.
Okay, with a 17. So as Null calls out, Grot and Mathea both turn towards you, and Grot's eyes snap to you, Alaris, and you can see him like raise his hand up to push some hair away from his face. And as he does, you are able to see that ring on his finger. There's a golden ring, thick and elaborate, almost like a crown on his hand. It bears a golden disc shaped like a sun, and in the center of it are 3 teardrop-shaped diamonds. One of them is brilliant, almost seeming to come alive, as if there's inner firelight, and 2 of them are clouded and gray. You recognize this to be his ring that he's had before, but there's something different about it. It used to have 2 stones lit up, but now there's only 1. And no, ever since you met him, there's only been the 1. And Grot seems to go a little pale, but he doesn't say anything. He stands a little straighter, and Mathea is also staring at Alaris. They don't really say anything as you are kind of coming up. And after a moment, Mathea shakes her head and she gives a small smile to the group, her eyes moving over to Adon and Samara as well.
Grot, was it?
He crosses his arms over his chest. Hello.
Funny seeing you here. Do you believe in fate?
he kind of shifts on his feet. He looks away from you and he rubs the back of his neck. I guess. How are you?
Well, my pockets are a little lighter these days.
He looks at you flatly and just kind of makes a vague gesture. Maybe you should get a job.
Oh, I have one.
Well, and why are we getting all sassy with each other right now?
Nell's just kind of like back and forth, like.
No, it's pretty clear that for everyone, it's pretty clear Alaris and Grot know each other somehow.
Yeah.
Be nice if my money didn't just start disappearing, though, from, stuff I've earned from my job.
You see him kind of tilt his head, a little unsure. He looks over to Mathea. She just like shrugs a shoulder. She says, "Nice to meet you all. Nell, where did you find these people?"
Well, they kind of got me a bit out of a jam earlier. I was cornered and brought into an alley as people were after something. I don't know what, but they kind of stopped them from, mincing me to pieces. And she again kind of like points to the rip in the cut on her arm and stuff like that. And when we got back to their room, someone had taken their stuff, and well, we came here to see if you knew anything about it.
As you're explaining, she steps forward. She grabs like the cloth on your shoulder and she inspects it. And like as you're kind of gesturing and pointing it out, she grabs your wrist, the one that used to have a bracelet on it, and everyone can see that on her wrist she has one that used to look very, very similar to Nell's, but it's a little fancier. She looks at your wrist, she looks you in the eyes, and then she lets go of your hand. She doesn't say anything. She takes a step back. Well, very composed. Thank goodness you had someone to look after you. I don't know what I would have done if something awful happened to my friend Nell here.
No, it's kind of like very sheepishly kind of places her arm over like the kind of like the where the bracelet was. And you didn't say it was edible.
You can see like she reaches over to Grot and yanks the coin pouch off of his belt, and he's like very confused what she's doing, and she tosses it over to Samara. It's just a coin pouch. She tosses it over to you, and as you say edible, she's like, "What are you talking about? Did you eat it?"
Maybe. It happened all very fast. Another new friend who's not here. They needed to rest. They had quite the day. Has one also on her wrist, and they were really similar, and we could like talk to each other. But
as you say this, her eyes light up and she just thrusts her arm back out to you. Can you try?
Alaris wants to roll an insight check, please.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Anybody who wants to.
Oh, like this blue dragon lady trying to get Nell to eat
Samara.
weird shit.
Also, I'm gonna open up the little pouch that she tossed at me.
Okay. There appears to be like about 45 gold pieces in there.
Why do I have this?
15? Okay, 15, 18 from Nell. What is Dawn doing?
I'm watching Grot right now.
Okay.
I wanted to insight him a minute ago when Alaris was making those comments, but then I just didn't. I'm gonna wait. I'm just watching.
Okay.
that.
Okay. All right. So with a 15, no, 13, 15, 18. Yeah. So everyone, you can tell that she seems very defensive. She seems very cryptic. But as this information is given to her, she seems to suddenly come alive with hope. And the way that she thrusts her arm out to Nell, it seems kind of desperate. It seems like a please help me kind of gesture.
Alaris would like to ask, where did you get that bracelet?
Her expression gets kind of sad, and she begins to growl at you. It's incoherent. It doesn't sound like words. Almost as if she can't put it into words. Samara, as you're kind of thrown the coin pouch, Grot kind of shrugs his shoulders. I guess for saving Nell.
Okay. How much did you say was in it?
45 gold pieces.
Oh yeah, really?
And you can see her eyes are kind of welling up as she's watching you, Nell.
Yeah, Nell's definitely taking the time to inspect it to see if it's edible and safe.
Okay, so that's going to take about 10 minutes, yeah.
Yep.
So you kind of like turn it over and check it out.
Probably while she's inspecting the bracelet,
gonna-
Alaris is going to inch over to Garot a little bit closer.
Okay, yeah, so we see the camera kind of fade away from Nell and Mathea as they're off there doing that. Grot crosses his arms over his chest and he looks over at the other three, kind of uncertain.
Grot, do you have a fire ganassi and a goblin working for you currently?
He looks you dead in the eyes and he said, yes.
Yeah. Were they on a job tonight?
Yes.
To do what?
Find some coin. What else?
Yeah.
That's
Do
what
you know
they're
whose
doing.
coin they found?
Nope. They left.
Mine.
Ah.
Do you know who told me about it? Quickfoot. They overstuffed him full of food that he's allergic to. She has no idea if he's allergic to it.
Just making him
see-
feel bad.
Yeah, you see his eyes. Actually, roll me a deception check.
Yeah.
Roll me a deception check.
I'll
Let's
just
give
be
him
like
ginger
standing.
and everything. He was having an
She's
allergic
just mad.
reaction. I'll
Okay.
help her.
Okay. So this is at advantage with help from Adon.
Oh, okay. Well, that first one's a 19.
Oh.
The second one's much lower, so 19.
Okay, he got an 8. Yeah, so you can see just the color washes out from his face. He says, what?
Mm.
Is he going to be okay?
Yeah, Nell took care of him.
Yeah. Yeah, she's good at that. That's actually why she's with us. He like lowers his voice. She doesn't know.
Well, it's very obvious she doesn't know.
Oh, Grot, that's Samara. She's been my traveling partner since I left the Firebrands.
You want my fucking money back.
Yeah, the money's partly hers too.
We'll take care of it. Don't worry about that.
Freak.
Also, you should probably know the Stormcloaks attacked Nell for money.
Huh. Well, we'll have to do something about that. We're not going to be here much longer in Waterdeep anyway. We're going to be moving on in a few days.
Why didn't you tell me you were here?
He falls quiet and he looks down at his feet. And then he just resigns with a shrug, unable to look you in the eyes again.
You literally sent me here. Why wouldn't you tell me you're here?
His eyes stray over to Mathea.
It's fine, you can move on. I don't care. But you literally sent me here to do a job? And you're not going to tell me that you're here?
It's only for a few days.
Right. You better get me my money back.
Yeah, I promise.
So weird that an experienced organization like yours just targets random people and is not like premeditated at all, right? That's crazy.
Isn't it?
And I'm gonna insight check him when
Okay.
when I say that, yeah.
Roll me an insight check. Absolutely. He like squints his eyes at you and he says, "Were you flashing around anything valuable?"
No.
No, we didn't receive a large box of money at the tavern.
We were at the tavern though. We went up to our room.
With
Yeah,
an
but when-
18 insight here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so you can tell he's very guarded. He seems to be off balance by Alaris being here. You can tell from the way his eyes snap back over to her as he talks and engages with the rest of you that she makes him uncomfortable, and he seems to lose a little bit of confidence in what he says when he's talking to her.
Mm.
And you can tell there's some guilt in his voice.
What kind of job did he send you here for?
Top secret. If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Oh, that's okay. I just kind of want to know. But I'm assuming he gave you a specific target, right? If it was that important that you had to be sent to the city, you probably have, like, you know, more specific instructions than what he gave the people in that tent over
Adam, not right now. Stop.
there. Oh, I'm just wondering why his squad was lying, though.
What do you mean?
I was just... Well, like the people in the tent over there, they obviously didn't want Nell to know something. Oh, I'll whisper so she doesn't hear. But they obviously like weren't being very truthful, and I just really wanted to know, like, why? Because if it was just random, what's the harm in like telling us?
He crosses his arms over his chest and he looks over to Mathea and Nell and says, "I don't really know what it is between them or what they've got going on. I've always been on the outside of that, and we've tried to keep them on the outside of our business." And the camera like pans over to Nell and Mathea, and about 10 minutes have passed now. And yes, for a fact you could eat this if you wanted, and it would not be harmful to you.
Or she kind of like, as she kind of finishes her, so she kind of gives a nod. And, yeah, I think this is edible. Can I?
Please.
She goes to eat it.
Okay, do you want to start with the disc, or do you want to start with like the clasp?
I guess you'd probably try and bite the clasp off, so it...
Okay. Yeah, so you chomp right into it. It melts like butter in your mouth. It's strange how easily you are able to cut through it. Especially because like you've had a similar one. You've probably pulled on it before, and it's pretty sturdy. It looks sturdy. Hers looks like it's made out of metal, but you eat it and it falls off. And just as it falls off, the disc kind of like suddenly changes and it becomes bulbous. It becomes like an eyeball. You hear a wet, sloppy meat sound as the eyelid slides open, and you see an eyelid dart around, and it looks around frantically, and then it stares straight at you, and the iris gets wider.
I was kind of like, huh, neat. You're like, I've never eaten a live eyeball before. She just pops it into her mouth.
Okay, you pop into your mouth. It doesn't feel like you're chewing on an eyeball or anything like that. It's like a cookie. It just sort of cracks and crumbles in your mouth. It's dry. It's mostly tasteless, and you eat it. And you can see on Mathea's wrist where she had this bracelet, there's significant bruising, as if it were crushing into her skin and her scales there. And she just stares at it in disbelief.
I think I need some water. It's a bit on the dry side. The other one.
You change colors.
Do I look any different?
No.
Oh. I was like, it's magic to change colors. Well, you may as well eat Avalon's too next time you see her.
Yeah, maybe she'll stop speaking a bunch of gibberish then.
Although it is rather entertaining.
It is.
She looks up to the group of you as you say that. She says, "You have someone equipped with a Thraxian bracelet."
Thraxian.
A what?
Oh.
A what?
Oh.
Thraxia.
Why does that name kind of ring bells?
Yeah.
Can I get a history check from all three of you?
Yeah, poggers.
Nell, you would not know this name whatsoever. 16 from Adon, 2 from Samara, not 1.
I'm so
Nine.
dumb.
And you said 9?
Yeah.
Okay, does anyone want to use a blessing?
I do.
Yes.
I do.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So that's a blessing from
never
Adon,
mind.
16,
That's a lot better.
Perhaps.
20.
Oh, that's
I could
worse.
do
Still
better.
9.
20, okay. Alaris, you're not quite sure. The name is familiar, but you've heard a lot of different names. Adon and Samara, yes, you know exactly who this is. They are talking about Thraxia, champion of deceit of the goddess of discord.
Mm.
Oh shit.
How did you come into contact with Thraxia? Jeez.
Who are you exactly? She seems to have honed in on the look of recognition in Adon and Samara's eyes.
That is a good question. What do we introduce ourselves as?
Well, I'm Alaris, obviously. That's Adon and Samara.
She is going to stride right up to Samara. She leans in and she gives a big sniff right to your ear. She smells you.
All right.
Divinity. You are champions.
I'm just gonna take her head and push it away.
Yeah, she just like, she huffs and she backs up.
You think that's hot? And she says to Grot.
Grot looks really confused by everything that's going on. He looks at Nell and he like points. He's like, "What's going on?"
Just go around sniffing people all the time, you fucking weirdo.
She says, "You are champions. I can smell it on you. The divinity."
That introduction. Okay, yes, we're champions of Hecate, to be specific. We usually don't introduce ourselves like that. If you
Yes.
can smell it. So again, how did you come into contact with Thraxia?
I signed a blood debt with Thraxia.
Oh,
Why?
why would you do that?
Fucking- You dumb?
She says, "Hold on. Where did I write this?
Where is it in my notes?
I wrote so many notes."
Control F. Find it. Thraxia. Blood debt.
She says, "I do not have to explain myself. I cannot tell you. It is between Thraxia and I. It has
Samara,
absolutely
sniffer. See if you can
nothing
figure it out.
to
Why
do
do I
with
gotta
you."
sniff her?
Well, I'll sniffer. But anyways.
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, we have a friend that has recently been unable to state where she got a bracelet of that sort, and maybe she did some dealings with Thraxia as well, and we're just wondering what we're getting ourselves into here, because I haven't heard that name in quite a long time.
Yes, yes. The Thraxian bracelets are cursed items. And she looks over at Nell.
Didn't you give one to Nell?
And she
Yeah,
looks
right?
very guilty. And she says, "I had given one to you, Nell, with the hope that one day I may be able to explain myself to you. A nature of this curse is that unless another person is wearing it, you may not speak of it. It comes out as gibberish, unheard, unexplained. You have always been near me anyway, so I did not see it to be a threat to your own safety, more than it would have been otherwise.
So you're just lonely?
I guess it makes sense why I could talk to Avalon with the bracelets. Hers had an eyeball too, didn't it?
Smara, you would know.
Hers had an eyeball?
No.
Oh.
Yes, hers did have an eyeball. And I poked it.
You poked it?
Yeah, and it went away.
When?
Did it feel like a regular eyeball?
It was when she was you remember that just weird moment where I just poked her wrist? Yeah, that was it. I think we were at the docks.
Oh.
I don't know.
No, we were
I don't know.
We were at the docks.
at the docks.
Can I get deception checks from both of you?
I think I. Oh wait, I kind of.
Oh god.
Okay. That's a 10 from a Dawn.
We were definitely at the docks.
Yes, the
Moving on.
dogs.
Mm,
What was that from you,
very
Dungeon Dame?
bad.
Oh, for me, I thought it was for Samara. Deception. Sorry, 17.
Okay. She hones in on a Dawn. The docks. What are you doing at the docks?
Well, I get fish oil for this special kind of incense to help me with like my visions and stuff. So I was actually down there getting some
She like
fish
shakes
oil.
her
I didn't know
head.
anything about an eye.
She holds her hand up to you like over your face and she just looks away from you and she addresses the rest of the party.
I'm gonna sniff her hand like really obviously.
Okay. Roll me a perception check at advantage. And that's a 20. So you can't really quite make it out like why you can smell this, but like you're very specifically trying to smell something on her and you smell her hand. And what is a smell to you that would trigger a fond memory?
Fish oil.
Okay.
100% fish oil. I met Avalon by the dock ward. So
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
So you smell fish oil, and there's a sort of nuance that you're able to also sense that's not purely physical, but it's like, it's metaphysical in the way that you know somehow that she is also divine. You know she's a champion.
Ah, divinity.
Yes, smells like
Say
fish
it in
oil.
exactly the same way that she did.
I am Mathea, champion of Hermes. You might know me as guardian of thieves.
Wait.
Oh!
Is that the person?
Yeah, Elaris, as this just sort of clicks for you, she looks you dead in the eye and she says, yes. My lord Hermes was not pleased to discover I had lost possession of his mantle. But that was lifetimes ago, and I'm willing to forgive.
I can see why
Squint.
Grot likes you.
I'm gonna whisper not so quietly to Alaris. Is she talking about the quest where you defeated those like 100 bears and then all these different champions of Hermes in order to get to it?
Yeah, that's the one.
There were no bears.
Yeah, there totally were. Uh-huh.
What is she the champion of?
She is
Thieves.
Mathea. Yes, champion of thieves. Mathea. No. In the background, you're kind of standing next to Grot, and Grot's just like looking at the group of them. And then he leans over and he says, I don't understand what they're talking about. Do you have any idea? Who are these people?
They just came up to me in the alleyway. I don't know. They seemed nice. They're very helpful.
Are you okay?
I think so.
And he
Do I
kind of like
feel
looks at
okay?
Alaris, and then he looks at you. Did you see a raccoon?
Yeah, I gave him some ginger. He ate way too much.
Is he going to be okay?
I can have a bit of a stomach ache for a little while, but should be okay.
Just kind of nods. And then Mathea just sort of like rubs at her temples. What are you doing here?
What are you
Honestly,
doing
I think
here?
everybody knows as well as we do.
Listen. You know, you and Avalon, wherever she is, are among some of the most powerful guardians of all our gods. And you've never had a reason, really, to wander the mortal realms. Some of us have been here for decades, some even centuries, doing whatever our masters require of us. However, something has changed. In the last 5 years, many of us have found ourselves incapable of returning home to our domains. Long-term arrangements have become a necessary requirement. She kind of like looks off at Grot.
Similar reasons as yourself, I suppose.
Can I ask a question? Do you know where Hermes is right now? Or have you heard from him recently? Just wondering.
No, I have been cut off from my god. But tell me, why are you here?
Well, the same reason, actually. Well, not Hermes. No, we can't get in touch with Hecate. Or we haven't heard from her. Or we can't sense her. I guess all of the above.
Yeah. So the same thing then. Well, in my travels, I have been able to encounter some other champions. So you're not the first that I have seen. And I suppose you will not be the last. No one seems to have answers. No one knows what happened. Most of us have had our feet on the ground, and we don't know what happened in the other realms.
Well, I suppose you've been looking for him, though. Is that correct? You've been trying to regain your connection?
Maybe. Not particularly with great interest.
You're just okay with staying on the mortal realm? It's awful here. Everybody dies, eventually.
Well, some of us have been doing it for longer than you have.
That sucks.
How long have you been here?
Like, I'm not great with time. At least, I don't know.
Grot, when did I meet you?
He's like 5 years ago, I guess?
Yeah, about 5 years, maybe a little longer.
Perhaps your coming has something to do with our inability to go back. What happened in the realm of magic?
That's a good question.
We don't know.
We don't really remember anything, and I would never come to the mortal realm willingly. So I can just imagine that we were forcefully kicked.
So you were banished.
Well,
This is
I guess.
troubling. Your goddess has an invaluable role with the passing of souls in mortal kind. Without her guidance or yours, this could have some grave implications. The way to the underworld must be severed, then, if you are here. You will not find a champion of Hades wandering the mortal realm.
well, if every champion's been banished to the mortal realm, then, I mean, wouldn't it just follow?
I did not say that every champion was banished. Do you think something happened to the realm of magic itself?
I would sure like to know that.
he's gonna try to insight check you guys. Can I get deception checks from? Oh, I just rolled a nat 20. Hey yo.
I don't think we're.
Yikes.
I mean, are we trying to deceive her right now?
We're not being forthcoming, really.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a
I
16.
think I'm trying to be. I'm
Trying
not
to be
forgetting
truthful.
things.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm probably just actually forgetting things.
Okay. So 17 from Alaris and a 10 from Samara. So you do know that the realm of magic literally collapsed.
Yeah, I think Rocket told us.
Yeah. It is gone.
Oh. Well, I mean, Adon would definitely remember that. It's just EJ who doesn't, so I will
no
tell
problem.
her that.
Okay. So she says, if that's the case, then it looks to me that you have two options if you want to get out of here. Either you
And a
need...
champion of Hades.
Yes. A champion of Hades or someone else who can take you to the great river of the underworld. Or you will have to find a way to restore your powers so that you can go yourselves. And the camera pans back over to Nell and Grot, and Grot's just like, what are they talking about? Gods? Hold on a sec. And then he strides forward and he puts a hand out. Are you
Sniff
really...
his hand.
Okay. Rolling
Sorry to
perception
interrupt.
check. No. Please feel free. DMs
not
are meant
good.
to be interrupted. All right, a 10.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay, so Adon using advantage, 15. Okay, you smell his hand. His hand smells like copper and forge and oil, but no divinity.
Not fish oil.
No fish oil.
Not fish oil.
Not even a little bit.
Not
You
divinity.
You can tell this person is immortal. Mortal.
Oh, God, I think this is maybe a little bit out of your depth.
Just throws up his hands. Well, you'll know where to find me. And he points at Alaris. I'll find out about your money.
Better.
Okay, you better fucking hurry.
He rolls
Alaris looks
his
pissed.
eyes at Samara. He begins to walk out and he says, "Don't leave the circus. I'll come find you." And he walks out of the tent.
Adon, while you're at it, go sniff Nell.
Okay.
Sniffed everyone else
sniff Nell.
here.
Sniff everybody.
Okay.
Oh, I'll ask Nell if I can sniff her first. I have much respect for Nell.
It's been a few days since I had a bath.
Oh yeah, just the hand is fine. Just the hand. I can just sniff your hand. It's fine.
It might be a little sturgy still. Sorry.
Ooh!
Everyone
that's
roll
not
us
good.
advantage.
Hmm?
Advantage.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, nat 20. Okay. You smell Nell, and you get that same fish oil smell. You can tell somehow that Nell is divine.
You said you were mortal.
I am mortal.
Are you? Here, smell this, and I'll put her own hand in her face.
Okay.
Nell, what does your hand smell like when you're just a normal person doing Nell things?
Sturgeon or sturkey.
I guess it's random herbs and maybe salty.
Yeah, salty, peppery, oregano-y. You don't smell whatever it is she's going on about.
I just smell what I've touched today.
Okay, well, you and I can work this out later. I'm gonna turn back to the rest of the group. She is definitely, no, you were right, Alaire. She is definitely not completely mortal, and I kind of thought that beforehand, but then she told me when she was mortal, and usually people know when they're immortal. She also just doesn't know it yet.
A bit odd that she can eat, everything.
Oh, that probably should have clued me in. You're right.
Yeah, a little bit.
I do have a very hearty stomach.
That is very true. You're correct.
That's true. But your teeth?
And you do change color.
Well, I ate a magic flower. That was from the magic.
I do
Right.
change color.
No.
And I ate the flower, the magic flower, so.
Well, we don't know the different biological effects of our different beings. Yeah.
There's one way to test if you're truly mortal.
No. Mathea, did
Well,
you
I'm
know?
just saying.
Oh,
You see Mathea like draw a dagger, and she says, "You will not hurt Nell."
Oh, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just saying.
One's a little like eccentric, but she's not gonna hurt Nell. She really likes Nell. Did you
I-
know Nell was not mortal?
She looks a little sheepish. Yes.
No. What?
She looks at you with sad eyes, and she says, "Nell, the day that we met in the forest,
Mhm.
I could smell the divinity on you. From the time that we've spent together, I've been able to find out that there's something different about you. You are not like me. You are not like them. You are something else entirely."
Well, I did kind of eat a flower that came out of a rock once.
As one does.
It is my belief that you ate an essence of a god.
Oh. Is that bad?
I'm surprised you did not die.
Pretty hearty stomach.
That is probably what saved you.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
She looks to the rest. Do you have any of your powers? Any of them?
So here's the thing. No, until like maybe like a week ago or something.
Yeah, we started eating
We tend to
inanimate
eat.
objects.
We ate some glass, and then we ate some rock, and then I ate a flower, and then we have a few of our powers back. But I think I had more. I'm sure I had more. I feel pretty weak.
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems you are starting to regain some of your powers by eating what I assume is godly essence.
That would make sense.
Oh yeah, makes more sense than glass.
It will not work with
Rocks.
everything. Not all magical items are made the same. Some have a little more oomph, as you might say.
How do we tell?
It is difficult to tell. There are ways, but some maps, some beings can divine them better. I am one such being. I am proficient in identifying them. She looks a
course you are.
tiny bit smug.
Hey, did you ever find what Hecate did with that cloak?
She rolls her eyes. No.
Funny how that works.
This ability to discern godly essence from like other godly essence and stuff, is that like a natural talent, or is that something that I can get your notes on?
It is one of my powers. I am the champion of thieves. I have an uncanny ability to discover the properties of pretty much anything.
That is very useful. I can talk to dead people, but I'd like to be able to see godly essence.
She points over to Samara. What can you do?
You know. Can
Anything once.
stuff. You know.
And you, Alaris?
You open doors.
Doors. The moon door?
Perhaps.
She gestures to the empty space in front of you. Why don't you open it now?
Why should we trust you?
I'll trust you.
You need answers. If I see what you've seen, perhaps I can make more sense of what you do not know.
I have a quick question before we move along with this door situation. Hypothetically, if Thraxia were to see through a bracelet into the moon door realm, how bad would that be? What could she do with that information?
I do not know what it is that Thraxia has planned. I do know that she has her hands in many plots and many schemes, as is her nature. My debt to her is more of my problem between me and my god. But I do not know, I cannot say. Thraxia is mysterious.
It's a good thing she only saw the docks.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Can I insight check her again about her wanting to see inside the moon door?
Yes, absolutely.
I want to insight check her when she says her debt is only between her, Thraxia, and her god. I want to make sure it doesn't have anything.
Absolutely.
That's an 18.
Okay.
For insight.
18 insight for the moon door. She just seems genuinely curious. It's kind of hard to tell anything more than that. She doesn't seem malicious, her intent. With the 20 insight about her debt, it seems truthful.
Goodness. I think we can open the door. It wouldn't hurt.
I mean, I can't keep the door open for all that long. Grot's gone, right? He left?
He's gone.
Okay. All right, well, I suppose we can kick you out if we need to. Does the moon door dance?
Okay. So what everyone sees is Alaris begins to trace an outline of a door, and one begins to manifest out of thin air. And it opens up. She pushes it, and the group moves through, and you are all in the moon door. Mathea will insist that Nell joins.
Oh, if she didn't, we would have
yeah,
dragged her along with
100%,
us.
Yeah.
She's one of us now. It's fine.
Yeah. So the group of you are now within this pocket realm. Nell, this is your first time being here. So it's like stepping out of a warm tavern and into a cold realm. It's just that much of a stark difference. You don't hear the noise of the circus around you anymore. A calmness settles down, and you see in front of you a large platform. It appears to be in some kind of a secluded glade, and you see that there is water all around you, and there is a prismatic bridge of light that extends out in front of you. And most noticeably is this gigantic door made of pure moonlight that towers over this entire realm. And it is in the distance, and it is several platforms up that are accessible by stairs.
This place is so pretty.
Yeah, wait till you see the flowers. They have gems growing out of them.
Are they edible?
I don't know, you might be able
For
to
you,
eat them.
probably.
Oh.
Oh, but I didn't even try.
Well,
Let's go. She's
I'll run
like,
off with
"No."
Nell to go look
Okay.
at the flowers.
Yeah, you just see them kind of go towards the east, and there's like a big patch of flowers.
well, moon door.
Mathea looks around, and she immediately starts to head towards the prismatic bridge, and it is a bridge that looks like it's made out of light. It doesn't look solid whatsoever. She does not hesitate, and she's able to cross past, almost as if it's made out of glass. And she crosses and begins to approach the moon door.
Oh, Alaris is going to be right on her heels. She does not trust this lady. Also, she kind of hates her a little bit on the inside.
Oh, I'll be right there. I'll be right there as well.
Okay. So the group of you make your way further up, and you do approach the foot of the moon door. As you do, when you're closing in on the last, 10 feet from it, it towers above you. It's easily, 100 feet tall. And you see the door begins to subtly change. The wild swirls of moonlight begin to blur, and they refocus into another image entirely, organizing into clean geometric lines. There's a large circle of light in the very center, the very heart of the door, and from it 10 thin lines sweep out in moonbeams, each ending in a smaller circle. There appears to be keyholes in each of these 10 smaller circles. A translucent fresco made entirely of light is layered behind these key circles, showing the very clear image of a being that looks like Avalon, holding a hand out in front of a line of 9 people. And you get a handout.
A handout? Like we should have gone to the store the first time we were in here?
No. And as this manifests in front of you, Mathea's looking at it and she says, yes, okay. This is the moon door. I have heard the legends of this. It is the door that will lead to the grove of Hecate. And from the grove you can continue to the great river of the underworld. There are 10 keys to open this door, and it is only with the Guardian of Keys that it can be opened. And she looks at the door, and then she looks at you, Alaris, and she mimics the hand gesture that Avalon is doing in the fresco. And right above your heart, a small glow begins to take shape. And it takes the shape of the amber heart that you ate.
What?
And she moves her hand away, and then it disappears. It seems that you are one of the keys.
Or whatever I ate was.
Yes. And Samara is here. She does the same thing in front of Samara, and then you see a kind of holographic representation of the sea glass that you ate, and it kind of floats above your heart. The water key. You have a key as well.
I think we need Avalon for this. She says, looking at the fresco.
Yeah, you just see this towering. It's like Avalon, but 10, 20, 30 feet tall.
I didn't know she got bigger.
I have heard stories about the Guardian of Keys. In her true form, she can take the shape of a giant wolf that eats worlds.
Whole worlds? I don't remember her doing that.
That is just the legends. I don't know. You know better than I do. Perhaps it's another embellishment, and she just narrows her eyes at Alaris.
Perhaps. She winks. But you can't really tell it's a wink because half of her face is covered.
Yeah, it's why are you blinking? Why are you blinking?
Why are you blinking so aggressively?
The camera cuts over to Adon and Nell, and you are standing in a patch of flowers that goes wide and far. Each of these flowers is very vibrant, and most noticeably, the head on the flower. Instead of where there would be a bed of seeds, there's a gemstone. And each and every one of these flowers shows the exact same thing.
Yeah, try one.
She'll kind of pick it up and examine to see if it's edible and safe to eat.
So Nell kind of spends 10 whole minutes looking at it, inspecting it, feeling it, smelling it. And after 10 minutes, you are able to discern that you can eat this and it will not hurt you.
I have a pretty good feeling about this. Yeah. She like pops it in her mouth.
It's like biting into a piece of candy. There's a moment of resistance and then it crunches in your mouth and it is sweet. And it tastes a little bit like raspberries.
I'm
Actually,
watching
one of
her
these.
skin like uncomfortably close for any color changes.
Okay. There are no changes. And I'm minusing 10 gold from your 1,000 gold flower bed.
Yeah.
It's okay, we're getting our money back. It's fine.
So, did you really think you were fully mortal? I mean, nobody else can eat these gems. Or most flowers, for that matter.
Well, after I ate that one flower and she like gestures to her hair with the flowers, I've been a little more, I guess, braver or bolder at the things I'll try and eat. But I've always been curious about, testing out new ingredients and things and seeing if they have magical properties. It's I find it rather fascinating. I
agree. Yeah. 100%. I'd love to try that sturge. And you've never been here before, specifically here.
Nell wouldn't have been.
No, you've never been in any kind of strange realm, only the material plane.
As far as I know, I've never even left whatever we left, the plane. I've never been somewhere where it's so magical. And she's kind of like eyeing things out, just kinda like getting a little distracted.
While she looks around, I just keep complete focus on Nell. Like I'm trying to discern. I don't even know. It's okay. I sometimes get the past, present, future stuff all mixed up. Well, you're here now. I guess that's what I was seeing.
That must be really hard for someone who studies like you to not have things so linear.
Well, I mean, when you've been alive for centuries, it doesn't really matter when stuff happens as long as it does.
Oh, very valid point.
And that's why things that I can touch are so much easier to study. Time is too much for me sometimes, I guess. But it's good to finally meet you. I've seen you here before. Hope that's not creepy.
But I haven't been here before.
I guess we have established that. Welcome to plane of not magic, but not the mortal plane.
Oh.
Pocket realm. Welcome to the pocket realm.
It's a very nice pocket realm.
And I want to make my way back to the rest of the group with now, probably.
Okay. Yeah,
Nell will
as
kind of grab a couple of the raspberry ones and
Okay.
put them in her pocket.
okay. So go ahead
Maybe
and
50
add,
gold worth.
Yeah, add 50 gold worth of gem flowers.
Expensive candies.
So expensive.
Very expensive candies. Way more expensive than my fairy floss.
So as the group kind of comes together, you see Mathea kind of reach out to Adon and gestures in front of Adon, and we see a light glow hovering over your heart, and then that enchanted ice flower that you ate, kind of like a silhouette of it appears, and then it disappears as she moves her hand away.
Yeah. This is the one that gave me the power. What are we looking? What?
And then she moves over to Nell and does the same thing. And in front of Nell, you see another glowing disc. and you see the silhouette of a rock and a small flower growing out of it.
Oh, that's the thing I ate.
Nell, you are one of the keys.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Probably a good thing.
Oh.
It's a good thing we found you, at least.
Yeah.
So if any mortal eats these keys, will they become divine just like Nell, or could they just die?
I don't know. From the fresco that you can see here, there are 9 people in front of Avalon.
Do you have one of these keys? Can you do the wavy thing in front of yourself?
She does it. You don't see anything manifest. She does it. She tries it a couple of times.
Mm.
No
I
keys
guess we're
for
gonna
you.
need to make some more friends.
Damn, what key is she?
So let's see. Nell is the spirit key. The rock flower. I need a better name for it, but there you go.
Yeah.
Placeholder. So you are able to discern that Alaris is holding the fire key, Samara is holding the water key, the earth key is held by Adon, and the spirit key is held by Nell.
Interesting.
Doesn't time move differently here? Maybe we should be getting back to Brat. He did say not to leave the circus.
It's twice as long here as it is. No, it's twice as long there as it is here.
Yeah.
I'll let you take care of the time.
Yeah, we should probably head back.
Okay. So you are able to open the path back to the material realm wherever you want. You don't have to walk all the way back to the beginning. So you can like trace it in front of you if you like. And you push it open and you see the circus. And everyone steps through. The camera fades to black, and we see Grot walking into the circus tent, and he is alone. It is dark. The music has stopped. The circus has gone to sleep. He is holding under one arm a giant chest of gold, and he is struggling with it as he walks into what appears to be an empty performing circle. He looks around. He doesn't see any trace of anyone here. He looks down at the ground. He can see some footprints in the dirt where Adon, Alaris, Samara, Nell, and Mathea had been, perhaps not too long ago. He sits down and he waits. And he waits. And he hears something. He whips his head around, having heard a chitter or a brush of something, a creak. Uncertain, he stands up. He goes, "Hello?" Nothing answers. And then, all of a sudden, something lashes out from the shadows and it hits him across the chest and it leaves a horrendous rent and he begins to bleed profusely. He staggers back, draws his sword, and he stabs it into what he thinks is the belly of whatever attacked him. But he misses and it's gone. And he tries to stagger back and he manages to evade another blow as it comes out of seemingly nowhere. And the last thing that the camera sees is he brings up his ring to his mouth. He whispers something inaudible to it. The light goes out. And then all of a sudden he's gone. And the chest has fallen down to the ground and spilled all over the floor. And about 20 minutes later, we see the moon door trace into existence, and all of our heroes step out into the quiet, empty performance circle. You can see that there is some blood on the ground, There appears to have been some kind of struggle in the dirt, and there are coins scattered everywhere. And that is where we're going to end our session. Yup. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Oh my gosh. My players make the same exact face at the end of every session.
We don't want it to end.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I really, really appreciate it. We're going to go around real quick and do some outros, and we will start off with the Lady May. Why don't you tell us about who you are and where we can find you?
Hello, I'm Lady May. I am known for painting things and my dice collection and playing various tabletop RPGs on the Twitch lands here. Can be found on the internet's Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, all at the Lady May, and that's MEA. And yeah, I'm actually going to be doing a one-shot this Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern on Crass Kitty's channel.
Nice. Excellent. And can you tell us what your favorite part of today's episode was?
Probably being hoisted up by Vala there.
That was really cute. Oh, thank you, thank you. Next, we have Giggly.
Hi guys, I'm Giggly. You can find me here at Giggly Dendrolagus or on Twitter at Giggly Dendro. Trying to get behind a schedule to get back into streaming and everything. But my favorite part was the fairy floss. Realizing how big it was, and we're like, oh crap.
Boosh.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you. Unfortunately, Bravo's not here today. We do hope that she feels well soon. Her links can be found there in the chat. She streams over at the Monty Hall, and her Twitter is BRRRRRAVO. Yes, she'll be back next week. Next, we have Dungeon Dame.
Hey, I'm Dungeon Dame. You can mostly find me here or in Stella's Discord. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram under the same handle. I used to stream once upon a time, but not so much these days. And my favorite part is probably running into Grot again.
Ooh, yes. All the pieces are slowly coming together. Gonna have to orchestrate a scene where it's just Alaris and Grot. Hold on, let me write this down. Okay. All right. Next we've got EJ.
Hi, I'm EJ. You can find me at what's my at Emily on Twitter, and that's it. And my favorite part of tonight was talking about Nell and her immortality, or her not being immortal and her not knowing. I thought that was funny.
Oh man. My favorite part was the petting zoo. That was really cute.
That was funny.
I really liked the idea of Nell just like having like these profound friendships with these little creatures, and like just the tender's just there, just bored, wanting to go to bed. And Nell's like way more excited and into this than anybody else. That was really cute. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. If you are new to the channel and you've enjoyed the show, please come back and watch us Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for the next episode. And don't forget to hit that like and wait, that's YouTube. Follow button if you want to get notifications for when we go live. Otherwise, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye!